Good evening, everybody. Could we please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can I have a motion to come out of executive session? Thank you, Therese. Second. Thank you, Brian. All in favor? Motion passes. Going to have opportunity for high school students. Ms. Payton and Mr. Kunter. I don't like this.
Hi, I'm Kai Payton,
Reichen Kuttner.
and we're the student representatives from the high school. So we're just going to tell you about some things that have been going on at our school. So students enrolled in our digital generation course visited Stony Brook University on Tuesday, October 19, 2021 for the fall 2021 kickoff event. Students from 7 different high schools on Long Island came together who are participating in the digital generation course to meet for the first time, engaging in icebreaker activities and formulating cross-district teams to create a cohesive social media campaign project. On December 9th, Riverhead seniors will have the opportunity to meet with admission representatives from 7 private colleges and apply on-site with all application fees waived. Students will be given instant decisions from each of the schools they are applying to. Students who apply and are admitted will also learn which financial aid programs they are qualified for, as well as the actual dollar amounts they will be offered. This year, the schools attending are St. Joseph's College, LIU Post, Mercy College, Johnson & Wales, Iona College, St. Thomas Aquinas College, and Vaughn College of Aeronautics. On November 10th, we held our 2nd annual Veterans Wall of Honor induction. This year, 70 Riverhead community veterans who attended schools within our district were inducted. Their names are now placed on the wall for all to see in remembrance of their service. And if you haven't already received your invitation, each board member is invited to join us on December 8th at 9:15 a.m. for our NJROTC annual manager's inspection. The purpose of the inspection is to assess the unit's viability, its accountability for U.S. government property, proper program administration, and overall cadet performance.
Our National Honor Society has just informally inducted 8 new seniors, so they can include it on their college applications, but they will be formally inducted with the juniors in the spring induction. The Riverhead Cooking Club 6th annual pancake breakfast will be held Saturday on December 11th from 8 o'clock to 10:30 in our cafeteria. It's $7 for adults, and kids 7 under can get in for free. Our music department is preparing for winter concerts. 9th through 12th grade chorus will be performing Monday, December 13th. Our bands on Wednesday, December 15th, the 9th grade at 6 p.m., and the symphonic band at 7:15. The orchestras will be forming Thursday, December 16th. The concert orchestra begins at 6 p.m. and the symphonic orchestra begins at 7:15. And everything, all the concerts will take place in the auditorium. And in addition to that, on December 8th, our chamber orchestra will be performing for the Riverhead Rotary Club, at the Sea-Star Ballroom on December 8th. And we also have the angel tree currently displayed in the main lobby. It's to give individuals the opportunity to help ensure that some of our families in need are able to provide gifts for their children for the holidays. The program will run through December 20th. Questions?
I just want to say thank you guys. It's one of the highlights of the meeting when you guys come and speak. Thank you again for coming out. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Going to move on to Public comments? Public comments on agenda items? Not seeing anybody? Okay.
Rhonda Thompson, Baden Hollow. On the item 5, new business, cyber incident response plan, what is this? What is that? What does that plan entail?
Hello, Ms. Thompson. So as a part of Ed Law 2D, the district is required to be able to have parameters, if you will, to assist us when we have any type of attacks. Other districts have experienced different types of attacks, and we have multiple layers in which we can't disclose publicly, of course, but we have multiple layers to protect the district regarding our technology, regarding the use of the internet and our email system.
Okay, so it's referring to hacks to the system, not threats being made against the school, per se?
So this is predominantly where there are people all across the world who are trying to steal information from districts, trying to do cyber attacks on districts, and any which way where they could hold information for ransom, for example. And some districts have paid so that they, because their information was held hostage. So as we continue to look at additional ways to protect the district, this is one of those ways regarding this plan that we have in place.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Any other comments on agenda items? Not seeing any. We're going to go to the superintendent's report. We got to table the external auditor. We got to table that till next meeting. She's not able to attend tonight. So it'll be tabled. The next meeting is what, December
14th.
9th?
14th.
Okay, so it's tabled to December.
December 14th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. Dr. Tornatore?
Thank you so much, Ms. Downs. So before we get to our additional presentations, and again, I do want to apologize to the community regarding Ms. Sanders was sick today, so she was going to come here to present on the external audit report, and then the board was going to vote on accepting that report. But we are having it scheduled for the December 14th meeting, and she will be here to present to the board and to answer any financial questions. Before we get to the other presentations, I did want to share some good news that we have from across the district. And first of all, I do want to also echo Mr. Dorr and thank our high school students for the great presentation that they did in sharing about all the wonderful things that are going on at the high school. In addition, the Riverhead Highway Department will be visiting 3 elementary schools, Roanoke, Aquabog, and Riley, this week, and they'll be meeting with each building's first grade, showing the Highway Department snowplows, and the students will, if I'm correct, will be also receiving a Highway Department hat, and these assemblies will be held outside of each building, and it's a great way for the students to get to know other local members of the community. At Roanoke, on the Saturday, the PTO will be hosting its annual holiday wreath sale in the bus loop. The sale is from 11 to 4. Then at 4:15, the 4th grade chorus, under the direction of our music teacher, will be performing Christmas carols for the Roanoke community on the lawn in the bus loop. And at 4:30, there will be a lighting of the wreath that will hang in the big picture window above the bus loop, and the wreath will stay lit through the remainder of the holiday season. At Riley, students had their 2nd annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in the building, where they were creating items for the parade and basically had this mock parade, so it was a joy for those students. And at Pulaski, there was a lot of different items that occurred. There was the extra help enrichment in 13 different programs that started for as many as 300 students per week. The second-year drama club will culminate at the end of the year with their very first ever Pulaski Street play. Additionally, Pulaski Street School donated 60 turkeys, as well as all the trimmings for Pulaski families. They would like to thank Island Harvest and our social work team for their support in providing the food and distributing it to families. And in the month of November, for our veterans, Pulaski Street participated in the Adopt a Hero program. Working with Mr. Simpson from the Vietnam Veterans Association, Pulaski Street teachers were critical in getting student participation out, and over 400 thank you cards were provided to our veterans, thanking them for their service. And a veterans photo board was created and can be seen in the main lobby at Pulaski Street. The board is filling up with photos of our staff and community members. We're looking to keep the veterans photo board up until the end of the year. And if anybody would like to provide a photo, please do so. If you have any children or relatives or close friends or neighbors who served in the armed forces and would like to submit their picture, we will be displaying that at Pulaski. The CAP program also returned to Pulaski last week. Community volunteers joined the 8th grade and high school peer leaders to teach the Too Good for Drugs program to the 5th grade and 6th grade students. And from Mr. Burke, a special thank you to the PTO for hosting the Fall Harvest Dance and Book Fair. Both were a tremendous success, and the students were already asking for information on when the next dance will be. And one last item at Aquabog. On November 16th, Aquabog celebrated its first ever Superhero Day, inspired by the life of Miss Carrie Stromsky, they were recognizing her birthday as well. Students and staff dressed like heroes to honor Ms. Stromsky, and she was well known for having her superhero costume for all occasions and for helping students see the heroism in everyday people. She made every child in the building feel like they had superpowers, and the positive energy in the building showed that her spirit does live on in the Aquabog community. So there was a lot of really wonderful things going on in our schools. And at this point, I would like to turn the microphone over to Mr. Hines, who is our Director of Technology, as he will be sharing out his technology presentation to the board.
Thank you, Dr. Sorry. Thank you, Dr. Tornatore. And thank you, Board of Education, for this opportunity to present. I have some updates regarding district technology that I'm trying to make my comments brief. Technology infrastructure is key to the operation of the school district. In 2019, thanks to your support, we used the New York State Smart Bond Act Phase 1 to begin upgrading our core network infrastructure components. We also placed advanced firewalls between the district system and the internet. In addition to these improvements, we updated storage area network components to speed up the back-end server communication. As we look toward the future, we are planning to utilize all potential funding sources, including state and federal funds and grants, and discounts to continue to update and improve our critical IT infrastructure. Some of the future updates include replacements of the access layer network switch infrastructure, which is where classroom computers and wireless access points connect to the network. Also, the virtual desktop infrastructure servers that are used to support access to needed administrative and instructional programs and systems. Also, the wireless infrastructure, which is used more now than ever, needs to be improved to support the needs of and the continued growth of instructional technology. Security of our school network is of paramount concern for all of us. Several school districts on Long Island have fallen victim to cyber attacks that crippled their systems for days and weeks as they dealt with it. In the United States, there have been 1,180 incidents in K-12 school districts since 2016. Each year, the number of reported incidents grows. To help schools fight this impending threat, New York State has instituted Education Law 2D to promote enhanced security for K-12 schools, data systems, and information. As part of this new law, school districts must adopt the NIST cybersecurity framework that is made up of 5 subsystems. identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. As a school district, we have risen to the occasion and are implementing practices and solutions that help keep our network and system safe from attacks and support our compliance with the law. We've implemented procedures including inventory systems, provided cybersecurity training and presentations to all staff, and physically secured IT assets. On the cybersecurity front, we have implemented other security measures I'm going to talk about in generalities since this is a public meeting to help reduce our risk. If you have specific questions, please feel free to contact the superintendent. We have implemented application layer web security filtering and firewall solutions that help protect our network and devices from threats while on the internet. This year, we upgraded our email security solution since, according to Verizon, 94% of cyber incidents start with an email. Our endpoint detection and response system is being upgraded as well to ensure that we have visibility into the potential breaches, since, according to IBM, the average time to detect a malware breach is 228 days. Instructional technology can enhance the educational experience and increase engagement, collaboration, and higher order thinking skills. We are investing in the right instructional tools to support meaningful learning and technology, learning with technology, including interactive flat panels for all classrooms through the New York State Smart Bond. We're also using federal monies to support replacing the 6-year-old classroom computers to support our one-to-one program. One-to-one is a significant shift in education, and many feel it helps to bridge the digital divide by providing all students access to technology resources. Our one-to-one initiative is something that we have had as a goal for a number of years, but we could never achieve it without proper budget support. The pandemic has changed our reliance on devices in education. Because of donations in 2020 from organizations including OLA of Eastern Long Island, federal funding, and increased budget funding, we now have enough devices to support a device for each and every student. To support this program further, we have implemented new procedures to track and validate inventory online. We are developing a device handbook and will be provided to students and staff. In addition to these steps, we have provided hardened cases and district purchase insurance to support device repairs for the life of these devices. To streamline these repairs, we have set up a device depot within our department. Next year, we are looking to partner with the high school to develop a student-run support desk for Chromebooks, which will provide opportunities for students to gain hands-on experience in a field they may wish to pursue as a career. Here is a draft 5-year plan outlining projected investments over the next 5 years. We seek to address key items in infrastructure, cybersecurity, and classroom technology in years 1 and 2, as well as continue to support our one-to-one program into the future. Please note, in year 2, we seek to migrate our Exchange email to Google in order to standardize on one email platform. I look forward to working with Dr. Tornatori, Mr. Caputo, Ms. Tona, and our Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations to develop and finalize the budget for these investments in the coming months. This is an image of Ms. Dillon's 3rd grade class demonstrating and learning math using a new interactive flat panel. This would not be possible without your support, as well as the support of our district and building leadership and our technology committee. Thank you for your supporting technology.
Thank you, Mr. Hines, for that wonderful presentation and all the hard work that you do to serve the students in the district. So I greatly appreciate that. Are there any questions from the board?
Any board members have any questions? Mr. Dorn?
It's along this lines. Where are we in the digital access survey, and how is that being collected, and what is our percentage of that's been completed as of now? Because I know the first send to the state is next week.
Mr. Hines, if you could share that for Mr. Dorr, please.
I'll find the information out for you that you're requesting and provide it to the superintendent so that he could share it with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hines.
Okay, moving on to our next item. We are beginning something here, which is our Blue Waves Recognition and Appreciation Ceremony. We want to recognize staff members who have really worked hard and gone above and beyond. And with that, I would like to ask Dr. Kerner to come up so that she could discuss it further and then hand out the awards.
Okay, good evening, everyone. It is with great pride and honor that I stand before you tonight to kick off our Blue Waves Recognition and Appreciation Program. I would like to begin by thanking Dr. Tornatore and the Board of Education for their support of this new initiative. It takes a village to raise a child. And in my time in Riverhead, I have seen every member of the village working tirelessly to raise our community of children so they can become successful members of our global society. And the beauty of this is that we don't do it for the recognition, we do it for the children. And so I'm pleased to share with you tonight our award recipients for the month of November. And I feel it's so important to recognize our team and share with the community the incredible things happening behind the walls and beyond the doors of our schools. So each month, the Riverhead Central School District employees are encouraged to nominate a colleague that they feel should be recognized and appreciated for their hard work and dedication to our students and their families. The monthly recipients of the award will be recognized at the second board meeting of every month. They'll also be highlighted on our website. Thank you, Sean O'Brien and Syntax, for that assistance. We had incredible participation for the month of November, and we're already on our way with nominations for the month of December. I'd like to thank our Blue Wave family for their interest in our new program and for the positive feedback that we have received. So I'd like to thank our district office cabinet for their input and assistance in determining the monthly winners. Unfortunately, Mr. Kalski could not be here this evening, but she sends her congratulations and best wishes to our award recipients. So I thought it would be fun if I call the name of our award recipients, if you could join us up front. And then I'd like to share some of the sentiments that were shared with us about you. So if you don't mind, can we start with Gabriela Guzman? So Gabriela, you're going to be in the spotlight, okay? If you could stand in front, and I'll share with our community the wonderful words that were shared about you, and then we'll give each recipient their award, I think, Dr. Tornatore, at the end. We'll just give it to everyone if that's okay. Okay, you ready, Gabriela? All right, so here is what some of your colleagues shared about you. Gabriela, let me see where we are. Gabriela is a computer lab aide at Roanoke Avenue. She has worked tirelessly, nonstop, and incredibly fast to address any and all issues we've had since the doors opened. I can call her when I have a student experiencing difficulty, and she comes immediately and teaches us how to solve the problem. We're also able to teach students how to problem solve as well, and I don't know what we would do without her. Somebody else said, we all know how amazing Gabriela is, but today she went above and beyond, and I couldn't let it go unrecognized. Somebody else said, "Thank you, Gabriella, for going above and beyond, more than you already do." Gabriella is simply amazing. As you can see, she goes above and beyond. I think there's a theme here with you, Gabriella, so thank you for going above and beyond. She loves our students, and we are so proud she is a member of the Roanoke family. Gabriella has many tech skills. She constantly and consistently helps us with our tech issues, but most importantly, she is kind and patient. So we would like to thank you, Gabriella, on behalf of the Riverhead Central School District for going above and beyond for our students, faculty, and staff. So thank you. Okay, so next we have Marissa DeSerio. It's your turn to be in the spotlight, Marissa. You can, Okay, so Marissa is an ENL teacher at Pulaski Street School. Are you ready to hear what people say about you? All right. She is always helping others. She has been helping me and my English language learners since she started working in the Riverhead Central School District. She has created tons of resources to support our English language learners and has happily shared with all that need it. Marissa is an amazing mentor, an amazing colleague, and educator. She goes above and beyond to help her colleagues across the district and not just in her building. She treats people with respect and is always looking for ways to support everyone. Marissa always gives her own time to help others, is an amazing educator who is dedicated to her students, and the work she does to support her ELs socially, emotionally, and academically is stellar. Her meticulous planning and her expertise as an ENL teacher is top-notch. So we would like to thank you for all you do for our students, staff, and families. Thank you, Marissa. Okay, next is Irene Irwin. So Irene, as you can see, is clerical in our tech department with Mr. Hines. So thank you, Irene. Here's what people have shared with us about you. Irene is always calm and quick to help my department with any issues that arise. Irene is always assisting others. She realizes the importance of making sure all things technology are addressed so our students can thrive. It is an honor to nominate Irene. So thank you, Irene. Thank you for all that you do for our students, staff, and families. And our last award recipient for this month is Deb Rogers. This is fun. This is fun. You're welcome. This is fun. Okay, so Deb Rogers is the principal of Phillips Avenue School. She has been realistic and honest about the direction of the school and directives of the district since day one. Her transparency is very much appreciated. She's led our building through the pandemic and all it's entailed, and this has prompted me to nominate Ms. Rogers. Thank you, Ms. Rogers, for all you do for our staff, students, and their families. Thanks, Deb. We appreciate you. All right, so at this time, I'd like to present the awards to our honorees. And so they'll be highlighted on our website, so you can check out. They'll be on the website.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
And Ms. Downs, that's all we have.
Congratulations, everyone. Okay, so we're going to move on to consent agenda. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Brian. Can I have a second? Second. Thank you, Chris. Any cares, concerns, or questions? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion passes. There's no old business. New business, letter A. We're going to table.
Madam President, I'd like to table letter A.
Can we have a motion to table letter A?
Motion.
Can I have a second? All in favor? Motion passes. Approval of the audit report is till December 14th. Letter B, approval of cyber incident response plan. Motion? Thank you, Brian. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Therese. Any questions? Cares or concerns? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion passes. Approval of contract. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Brian. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Virginia. Any questions, cares or concerns? Not hearing any. All in favor? Do you have a care and concern? No. Okay. Against? Motion still passes. Chris is a no.
Ms. Downs.
Letter D. Okay, Dr. Tornatori would like to, go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Downs. I did want to share with the public a little bit more what I can regarding our situation with our Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations position. So as Mr. Schneider is not in district, we had Mr. Herb Chesler, who was performing in that role, but he had agreed to only perform the role on an extremely temporary basis. I do want to thank him for all that he has done. He has been able to come in part-time to help with me with the financials in the district. And again, I want to thank him for all his work. But he is going to be offboarding, and at this point, in conversations with the cabinet, as we were taking a look at long-term stability with that position, we want to congratulate Ms. Faith, and I apologize because I know I'm going to mispronounce her last name, Caglione. And we want to welcome her to the Riverhead Blue Waves team, as she will be our acting Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations. So I just want to thank you and congratulate you and welcome aboard.
Thank you, Dr. Tornatori.
Madam President, if I may, I just want to clarify, C, approval of contract. I was a yes for that vote. I don't know why I raised my hand for the no. I was as a yes, so I just want to make sure of that, and welcome aboard.
Couldn't understand you. Okay. Okay. We ready to move on? Okay. Letter D, approval of attendance of a conference for Dr. Tornatore. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Brian. Can I have a second? Thank you, Virginia. Any questions, cares, or concerns? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion passes. Letter E, approval of memorandum of agreements. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Chris. Can I have a second? Thank you, Brian. Any questions, cares, or concerns? Not seeing any or hearing any. All in favor? Motion passes. Letter F, award of new contract. And can I have a motion, please? Uh-oh. Thank you, Brian. Can I have a second? Thank you, Chris. Any questions, cares, or concerns? All in favor? Motion passes. Letter G, approval of a field trip. Could I have a motion? Thank you, Brian. Second?
Second.
Who was that? Thank you, Virginia. Cares and concerns, questions?
Good luck.
Thank you. All in favor? Motion passes. H, approval of surplus. Could I have a motion, please? Thank you, Brian. Second. Thank you, Therese. Any questions, cares, or concerns? Not seeing any. All in favor? Motion passes. Approval of donations. We got from Ethan Greenberg in the amount of $2,141.02 for Phillips Avenue School for student backpacks and supplies. And we got from Blaze Church 50 baskets with food and gift cards for families in need for Thanksgiving. Thank you. All donations are very much appreciated. Can I have a motion? Thank you, Brian. Second. Thank you, Chris. Questions, cares, or concerns?
Just thank you to Ethan Greenidge
Thank
instead
you.
of Greenberg.
Okay.
Greenwood.
Sorry. All in favor? Motion passes. Opportunity for board members, committee? Virginia?
We have a wellness committee, met November 18th. Farm to School update. We received local produce as part of the East End Farm to School grant program. Some of the local produce is much more expensive, but we will be reimbursed for using local foods. There's a new item each month. October was apples, November butternut squash, December kale. These items are added to the lunch menus as received. The CEP program approval, we received confirmation approval. Reimbursement rates are 87.4% free and 12.6% paid. 54.6% of students are directly certified. Current student eligibility, 2,758 free, 1 reduced, 2,669 paid. So around 51% of students free and reduced. We discussed the supply chain. Due to severe supply chain issues, we need to increase some bids, even if they have already been approved. The double stack ovens and warmer have been ordered for Phillips Avenue, but due to delays, they have not yet been received. Health electives, Mr. Sachs is exploring with the high school team potential health electives for the 9-period day. Ms. Mazzaferro discussed the student wellness survey update. That was distributed to students in grades 7 through 12 on November 18th. They will analyze the data to determine supports that may need to be put in place, and a parent survey will be distributed as well. Dr. Kerner discussed Rethink Ed. It's an SEL platform that's being explored by various faculty members across the district. We've received very positive feedback regarding the invaluable resources available on the platform, and at the Parent University on October 19th, representatives from Rethink Ed presented to our families. There is a parental component to the platform, and we are optimistic that this will assist in supporting our students at school and at home. Restorative practices, our administrators received an overview of training, and our core teams of approximately 50 faculty and staff members across the district have been trained during 2 full days, and they have another full day coming. They're receiving positive feedback regarding the beginning implementation of these practices and the shared language that is beginning to be used across the district. Riverhead Building Supply has historically participated in a holiday giving initiative. Students and families in need are identified, and holiday gifts are given to families. And all students in the district must be, they discuss about getting them fully vaccinated. So the deadline is December 6th, and the report is due to New York State by December 15th of 2021.
Thank you. Any board member has anything to say? Mr. Dorr?
Yes, it's come to my attention that we have 6 Dr. Seuss books that are on our removed books list. I'd like to see them put back into circulation. And to think I saw it on Mulberry Street, If I Ran the Zoo, McElliott's Pool, On Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Egg Super, and the Cat's Quizzer. If we could get those put back into circulation, that'd be great.
Yes.
Can you find out who authorized the removal of those books, please? Thank you.
Absolutely. I wasn't even aware originally that they were removed, so. Yeah, so I have to investigate and let the board know.
If I can, I do recall, because I think that was something that the publishers
They
did.
removed them from publication.
Right,
They're
so,
being published, but there's no reason that we have them that they can't be in circulation.
right. So I'm trying to remember why we did that. Was it because they were afraid that people were going to take them because they were going to become collector's items or something? Was that the reason? Okay.
Exactly, that's what the problem was with
Yeah,
a
I
few
think
of them
that,
books.
I'm trying, I
Correct.
remember that. And it was just as was in our district. I think a lot of them were making
they were
sure that they
collector's
weren't,
items.
yeah, okay.
Anybody else? Or CFA?
Good evening, Gregory Wallace, RCFA President and resident of Calverton. Riverhead has suffered its share of loss over the years, and yet again, tragedy struck our school community with the death of high school student Andrea Gonzalez Rivera and her 4 family members on November 16th. Loss is difficult to process, especially when the life of a young person is lost. The association would like to extend our deepest sympathies to the friends and family of Miss Rivera and her family during this time of grief and sadness. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Opportunity for public. Ms. Lisa, you have a comment online? Mr. Fisher, could we do the one that's online first?
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, there's one sent in from Allison Matway from Wading River. I was horrified by the show of anti-Semitism that was allowed to occur in our town and on our The anti-vax crowd, as usual, is using a performative act to make a point, but they are completely oblivious to how offensive the act of leaving empty shoes is to Jews everywhere. I am saddened that this was allowed to, and angered that when I drove by the district office that morning, the shoes were still there for the children to see. Here is a link to an article so you can see why this is triggering to people like me, who knew people who both survived and died in the Holocaust. We need to do better. We need to be better. I hope future efforts as these are halted in their tracks.
I couldn't hear.
Is that it? Okay. Did you get that, Dr. Tornatore?
Thank you.
Mr. Fisher?
Hi, I'm Greg Fisher from Calverton. I have 2 children in the high school, and I thank the board and the faculty for
Could you
doing
speak a little closer to the mic, please?
I thank the board and the faculty for doing
Thank you.
such a fine job with them. Just to comment on this, this call-in on the leaving of shoes, this was not an anti-Semitic act at all. And just because there are empty shoes does not mean we're referencing the Holocaust at all. And I actually spent this past weekend at a Holocaust site. So it's an issue, and with my lineage partially Jewish, I'm very sensitive to this issue. And actually on the anti-vax issue, or vaccine choice issue, this was an important issue during the Holocaust, forced medical procedures, experimentation on children. So I would hope that the caller would recontextualize how they're looking at this problem. Because what we have now is government ordering children and faculty to participate in experimental medical protocol where there is no approved COVID-19 vaccine in circulation in the United States. Now, all of those substances are experimental, yet we are being coerced or offered little gifts to participate in an experimental protocol. And it's more than enough news to show the danger, imminent physical harm, and chronic injury to all persons, 100% of persons receiving these experimental substances. So I would beg the person who just provided their comment to look at this in the context of the Holocaust, exactly what happened there, and how there was experiments on human beings without their permission and under coercion. Moving on to a similar topic, when Mr. Schneider was here, I had asked him to identify the district doctor, and he was unable to do that. He pointed to a medical institution. That is not a district doctor. It's very clear that nothing to do with vaccines, so-called vaccines, or substances being administered to children, or threatened to be administered to children, or mandated to children or faculty, has been reviewed by any doctor. There is no document I can find where the district doctor, even if they be identified as a John Doe or Jane Doe, has reviewed any such policy. So what we have is the school council, the school administrators, the school board, school nurses, participating in the coercion of children to participate in experimental medical protocols. It would be as if I was to coerce you somehow to insist you participate in a medical experiment. Now, there's more than enough news about the injuries coming from these vaccines. And while I was able to develop a protocol to prevent COVID infection and to combat acute presentation of COVID within a couple of weeks, and thereafter working with doctors, and I gave you all copies of a book that guarantees you would not get acute symptomology from COVID, backed by not only 600 studies in the book, but there's close to 80,000 other studies to affirm that. So I'd like to...
Mr. Fisher, your time's up.
Yeah. Who's the doctor for the district? Who? Just give me a name. Obviously, nobody's signed off on anything or reviewed anything, and I find it offensive.
I thought it was Rubio.
He only signed one document, which was on hand washing. He didn't sign anything on masks or certainly vaccines. Nothing. He's not weighed in, he's not reviewed anything, he's not filed any document with the district. So this is completely on the superintendent. The liability for all injury, regardless of severity, regardless of duration, and these children can file a suit up to their, what, age 18 plus 3 at least?
I appreciate it, Mr. Fisher. If you want, you could email us, email the superintendent.
I'll send out a Freedom of Information request, but I'm just letting you know that you're practicing medicine. You're not practicing administration. You have no doctor practicing medicine in these protocols. And it's illegal. It's completely illegal. So, you know, I'm just saying that it needs to stop. Everything about gifts and coercion, and Mrs. Healy was not clear about what had to be done by December 6th. Is there something about a vaccination by December 6th? Was that to get gifts?
Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
That wasn't dealing with, that was something else.
We could do this another way. At some point, I'm going to become so frustrated, I will actually do a citizen's arrest here. Council, you're listening to me, right? I will do a citizen's arrest here, and I will call the sheriff to expedite. Council, are we clear? This is child endangerment. That's a crime. Are we clear? We're clear, right? You know
do that.
Go ahead.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, Mr. Fisher. Thank you for the warning. Yes.
Thank you. Next, please.
Hello, my name is Denise Rohde of Bating Hollow. My son attends the Riley Avenue Elementary School. I am not an anti-vaxxer. I am just pro-choice for parents regarding the vaccine. And I would like to address Albany and the New York State Department of Ed and just point out the fact that the vaccine is not a sterilizing vaccine for COVID-19. It does not stop the spread of COVID-19, and with children being at such minimal risk, if someone's worried about their child, they can get them vaccinated if they want to. And I don't think that children should be forced to receive the vaccine. It should be up to the parents. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else from the public? Good evening, Ms. Thompson.
Yolanda Thompson, Bating Hollow. I know the board is aware that I've run for a seat on the Board of Education 3 times now. So I'm a familiar face and a familiar name. I've earned my stripes to speak. In each and every time that I ran for a board seat, I spent a lot of time speaking to people in the community, whether it be in the shopping centers, whether it be knocking on doors in communities. I got to speak to a lot of people in the community and get their feelings and their opinions on the issues in the school district and how they felt about voting for the budget and whatnot. And the number one reason that I got from most people of why they plan to vote no on the budget, and this is all 3 times that I ran for a seat, is because of the nonstop continuous scandals that we continue to have in the school district. Okay? With this most recent hiring of yet another acting assistant superintendent of finance and operations, we in the community are fed up. We're fed up with the runaround that we're constantly given. We're fed up with the deflecting and the not answering of questions. We're fed up with the tremendous amount of money that is being spent and wasted to cover up for wrongful conduct. Now, I made a little bit of a timeline to try to understand and try to follow what's going on with this situation. 9/28, there was a special meeting. 10/4, there was a special meeting, executive session was involved, and there were contract negotiations. 10/12 was the reassignment of Mr. Schneider. Also on 10/12 was a BOE meeting about abolishing the position of the deputy superintendent. Now, in that, there was a vote 6-1. Mr. Doerr dissented. Mr. Doerr, why did you dissent? Why did you vote no on that? Can I ask you why? You chose not to vote with the rest of the board to abolish that position. Is there something that made you feel that that position was necessary? Or is it a personal friendship maybe that you have with Mr. Schneider? What was the reason behind your vote? No reason? I'm going to move on. Please know that when you don't answer a question, what you don't say also answers the question also. Now, also at that meeting, there was a contract awarded to Volts and Vigliata Special Legal Services. And then at the 11/1 meeting, which was rescheduled from 10/26, there was a contract approved with Naraki Smith LLP for forensic audit services. Now, we also hired Herb Chesler to act as the acting business official. We're paying legal fees, we're paying forensic audit fees, and now we're hiring yet another person for this same position. Where are we getting all of this money from?
Ms. Thompson, your time is up. Let's see if there's somebody behind you. Or Dr. Tornatore, do you want to answer?
Sure. Yes, Ms. Downs. Ms. Thompson, regarding matters of personnel, unfortunately, I cannot comment on matters of personnel. I am an extremely transparent superintendent, and I would love to be able to share everything with the community right now, but we do have an ongoing investigation. I will share this, though, that when Mr. Chesler came on, and it was to be temporary, we didn't realize how long things would take. I did bring him in, and he was paid hourly, and he was only here part-time. And I personally ended up taking up a lot of the work because I did not want to put a financial burden onto the taxpayers. He is now leaving because I had mentioned earlier he was only going to be here for a short amount of time. And because the investigation is ongoing, we did need somebody who was going to handle the financials for the district. And that's why Ms. Caglione has been approved tonight by the board as the acting assistant superintendent of finance and operations. Once I am able to share more, I will certainly share more with the community. But if you notice, she as well has been appointed as an hourly wage, not as a day wage, because again, I'm trying to be as fiscally conservative as possible for the district. Right, because
Explain how much a per diem is actually if we went daily instead of hourly.
Right. So daily, somebody could charge anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a day to provide services for a district. And again, because I am cognizant of the Riverhead taxpayers, and I do understand that the budget had been defeated in the past, and as well as the bond had been defeated, I'm really trying my best to be able to move ahead with the financial operations of the district, but also taking into account the taxpayer. So Ms. Caglione is only going to be here part-time. She will continue for the rest of the year part-time and as needed.
But I just want to be clear that in no way am I attempting to pin this on you or blaming this for you. You are new here. You have nothing to do with this situation. This is more on the board. Okay, because they are the ones that ultimately make the decisions. Contracts, who to hire, who not to hire, how much to pay, etc. And what I'm trying to say is I was not even discussing personnel issues. I'm not asking for an explanation of what is going on with Mr. Schneider. My question was simply at the end of it, where are we getting? We are a poor school district. We have over 50% of our students receive free and reduced lunch. Where are we getting all of this money to pay for these constant scandals, investigations, cover-ups, buyouts, payouts? Enough is enough already. You as the board, when is it going to stop? When are you going to do a better job of hiring the right people in the first place so that we don't wind up having scandals like this? When is it going to stop? That's all we taxpayers want to know. We want the town of Riverhead name to stop being dragged in the mud also, and stop putting divisions in the community and blaming people such as myself who speak up
Ms.
about
Thompson,
certain
your time
matters.
is up.
We want answers, and we don't want to be attacked. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Anybody else? Not seeing anybody. We're going to go into executive session for employment history of a particular person. We do not intend to come back out for any additional action at tonight. So have a good night, everybody. Can I have a motion? Second? All in favor?
Please help support the Riverhead Central School District YouTube channel by subscribing. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, please be sure to push that subscribe button and click the bell to receive notifications. Thank you.